Hey everybody, it's Blake from the Splintering. Today we're going to talk about the Heroineburgh comic book. Heroineburgh started as a web series featuring a very large cast of mostly female but some male actors and actresses. And it's a superhero show. It's been running for about 2 years. And right now they've busted out a new comic book. They're going to crowdfund both issues 1 and 2 coming up later this year. We also have some stuff to give away. We're not giving away the book, but what we are giving away are 1, 2, 3 stickers. One that includes a sticker of the cover artwork by Jason Wright, and then a couple of character stickers. There's the first of those, and the second of those, and then a t-shirt, the size large t-shirt featuring several of the characters from this series. So we will have details on how to win those at the end of the video. But I want to go through the book just a little bit. It is a 16-page book. It includes 2 separate stories. Each are 4 pages. And let's go ahead and get to it. So I don't know if their crowdfunded book will look exactly the same as this one. This one has very, very thick pages. It feels like it's essentially the cover stock for every single page, which makes it feel a little bit thicker than it really is. So with the cover and everything, it still feels weighty, but I'm not exactly sure if they're going to do something different when they crowdfund it later this year. But these are characters that are featured in the book. I can't show too much. Again, it's only a 16-page book, and so it's going to be hard to get too deep into it without showing off the entire thing, and I don't want to do that. But one of the negatives of the book, I will say, you can kind of see it here on this page, is that the text is a little bit oversized, and it ends up taking over some of the artwork. Like this block is very large. Have these blocks here that are particularly large that are really just setting the stage for the story. And I think it'd be better if they could have taken this, made it much smaller, and pulled it outside of the artwork up at the top, like I know a lot of comics do. If you're just setting the stage for what's happening through the rest of the story. Actually, hold on. I just went to the shop, so I can point something out that so make it look something like this. So this is Gods and Gears #2 by Alterna, and they set the stage up here with just a few quick lines, very small text outside the artwork. So you know it's not necessarily part of the story, but again, it sets the stage before you start pulling your text onto the artwork and start covering it up. So I would suggest that if they are going to make changes, that be one of the changes they make. Make some of this text smaller. I would suggest relettering the whole thing for some reasons that I'll get to in a bit. But this here could easily be pulled up to the top, made smaller, and that would open up this space a little bit better to bring out the title a little bit and highlight some of the artwork a little bit. So, okay, let's see. Again, I don't want to show too much of this. I will show, this is my favorite panel from the whole book, just because I love that line. It makes me giggle in my head every time I read it. But that is the villain, Mesmera, taking over the mind of a computer hacker tech worker. That's her getting into costume. Let's see. So you're getting a sense, hopefully, of what the artwork looks like. Again, it's a very high gloss paper because it's essentially the cover stock. But this was a lot of fun to look at. I like these dark shadow creatures, remind me of Fantasia. That sequence, Night on Bald Mountain. All the bad guys coming out. So let me try and skip ahead a bit. Not showing too much. Okay, here's another part where you can see that the text is kind of getting in the way. This is the end of the story and everything rushes to an end, and that's a lot to crowd up there. So I would re-letter this, try to find a way to make some of this text smaller, maybe even edit some of it down. But this first story was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Again, it's quick. It's 4 pages. But it was fun. It was pretty much a non-stop action story in those 4 pages. Like I said, there were some moments that did genuinely make me laugh, and I enjoyed it. I read it multiple times. Here's the second story featuring different characters. Again, we could pull this text up out of the frame, but it's not quite as intrusive on this second one. But here you have the character Ex Machina creating a giant robot. Now these are some things that they really could never do in their, or I assume they can never do in their web series, because the web series is, you know, it's a low budget superhero TV show, and so that's where I think this shift to the comic makes a lot of sense. For every story they want to tell that they really can't do on a limited budget, then that makes it perfect for the comics. All you gotta do is draw whatever it is you want, where you want it. But let's see if I can get too far into this. So Serpenta is the villain of this story, and that is her. And getting a little bit busy with the text again, which all of this would be alleviated just by making that smaller. So we have the thought balloons, which you don't see a whole lot, or at least as often. There may even be a way to make those boxes that are just color-coded to the characters. I know there's a few different characters that use the thought balloons. But it turns into essentially a kaiju battle between Ex Machina and a creature that Serpenta creates, and it's fun. It was a good, again, 4-page story. Here at the end, there's a little bit of drama that comes through that I didn't quite follow because I haven't seen every single episode of the show, but I wasn't lost. You don't need to watch every single episode of the show to understand what's going on, so it was very, very minor. But again, I think the artwork's pretty good. I mean, it's an indie effort, but it's a good indie effort. The colors are very bright, coming off this very bright stock, this very heavy stock of paper. So I think there's a lot of characters in here. There's a lot of things to like. So you have at least 1 or 2 characters that you'll get a kick out of, I think. But that's pretty much it. You can buy this book through the Heroineburgh website. I think that's just heroineburgh.com. I hope that's correct. This particular version of it is $9.99. Again, they're going to be crowdfunding a second issue where you can get issues 1 and 2 later. I don't know if they're going to be doing the print run exactly like this. They may change it. And there are a few things, like I said, that I think they would be wise to change if they're able to do that. But still, I think it was a fun read. I was happy that they sent it. I did post a full review of this and a couple of episodes from the web series. Those are posted on thesplintering.com. So go there and read that. And if you read all the way through, you'll see at the end there is a giveaway for, again, the t-shirt and the sticker set. So we're calling it the Heroineburgh prize pack. And now there are 2 ways that you can enter to win that. That first way would be to go to that review on thesplintering.com and leave a comment at the end, including your email address on the form, because we have to have a way to get in touch with you. If you just leave a comment, there's not going to be a way for me to actually contact you to let you know that you might have won. So leave a comment, leave your email address, or if you don't want to do that, if you don't feel comfortable doing it that way, we do have a tweet that's pinned to our Splintering Twitter account, and that is at _splintering, because someone has just the splintering still, and someday I will get it from them. But it is our pinned tweet. All you have to do is make sure you're following us, retweet and like that tweet. Now you have to be following us so that we can message you in a DM to let you know that you've won. Okay, so do both of those things. Like and retweet the tweet, and make sure you're following us, and that will also enter you in the contest. Again, there's only one winner. We are limiting this to people within the United States because I'm not paying shipping to shoot it out that far. So I hope you did enjoy this. I hope this was enlightening. Otherwise, that's the book. You can look for it on the Heroineburgh website, or you can look for it later this year on a crowdfunding campaign. I believe they said they intended to use Indiegogo. And the more information that comes out on that, we'll be posting that info to the Splintering website as well. And I'll give you one last look at the shirt. We'll go ahead and unfold it here. It's kind of a grayish here, featuring 5 of the characters and the Pittsburgh skyline in the background. But that's it. I hope you have enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you again later.